well, because who gives a fuck about The Strangers in 2024? And Back to Black, which apparently has bad reviews, so good luck with that, Madison.
That's a Stephen King thing.
No.
Oh, wait.
It's a movie from like 2008.
Oh no, that's the TV show coming out, The Strangers, because Stephen King's got a book by that name.
Any thoughts on these movies coming out? Any hopes and dreams, Madison? Since 2 of them are on your list.
If and
Back to Black.
Back to Black. Yeah. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. You putting Back to Black in the list is kind of a death sentence.
If as my number 1. Listen, I have faith.
Ambitious.
Just let
it
me
is
cook.
Ambitious.
Let me cook.
I mean, you're ambitious too. You put Furiosa as number 1. You guys are very hopeful.
Well, yeah. I mean, Furiosa's out now, right?
No, it's coming out Memorial Day.
Oh.
Next to Garfield.
But they already have projections, right?
Right now it's projected to open around the same as Planet of the Apes.
Which one do you think is going to do better, Furiosa or Garfield?
Profitability-wise, Garfield, because that movie looks cheap. Apparently, people are saying it's good.
Garfield movie?
Yeah. Also, I heard a clip of Chris Pratt acting in the movie. He has a lower voice.
Oh God.
You see, I watch plenty of TV, so I know exactly how to jump a train.
It is me, Garfield.
It's me, a Mario. That's not the voice.
And then that's the voice.
They lowered his bass a little bit, and there you go. It's Garfield.
Man, I really loved when Peter Quill said, "I hate Mondays and I love lasagna."
I can't wait for their scene where they go to Olive Garden to get the new Garfield lasagna.
Yes, I cannot wait for that. I'm gonna get myself some lasagna.
Actually, when we go on our bro date to go see Furiosa, we should specifically go to Olive Garden and post a picture of us eating the lasagna.
I'll kill both of you.
Yeah, she doesn't want to see Furiosa for some reason. I don't understand it.
I didn't watch the first Mad Max.
So watch it.
This is a prequel
Just
to
because
Fury
it's got
Road.
your name in the title doesn't mean...
It's a female empowerment movie.
Move me?
Yeah, move me.
Also, it's a prequel, so you don't need to watch Fury Road in order to understand it. Or any of the other Mad Max movies.
Well, I haven't seen Mad Max, so I have nothing to...
So this can be a good, interesting perspective. It has Anya Taylor-Joy.
Don't know who that is.
Queen's Gambit.
She the one chick that kind of got fish eyes.
You've seen The Menu, right?
Yeah. Oh, fish eyes. I know. She's the main character.
It's getting good reviews, except for the CGI, because I'm assuming Fury Road was just too expensive to reproduce with all the practical sets and cars and stuff. So they're like, we have to use a lot more CGI in this one. So I'm assuming that's why people are complaining about it. But Fury Road is one of the best action movies of all time. So I have faith in George Miller, the king who created Happy Feet and Babe. So we good. So we watched a TV show this week.
Time to bring the mood down.
Oh my God. And just to preface, we were supposed to watch only until episode 4.
Yes.
But...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so who wants to tell the story? Actually, I think Madison should tell the story. I want you to explain your fuck up.
Here's my notes app apology.
You need to be
enjoyed.
Wait.
You need to be like Travis Scott.
You need your ukulele.
Hey, I'm sorry. With your hand in your face, like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I fucked up.
Toxic gossip train.
Also, okay, let's just let her tell the story. We can make fun of her later.
I apologize for enjoying a show, so I watched over episode 4 into the entire thing, and then I told them that I would just stop talking.
No, it doesn't work like
Yes,
that.
it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it most definitely does.
You can't be in that conversation. Now we are all in the same headspace, and now we can bounce off all our ideas, because this show is really good. But I'm going to... Disclaimer right here. This is a very heavy show. Has a lot of themes of abuse, very sexually provocative, also spoilers. So if you feel like any of the context of stalking, sexual harassment, sexual assault is uncomfortable, maybe skip ahead. Maybe I'll have chapter markers. I'm not sure. Future Max, make sure to do that or you're a fuck up. And we're going to be talking about Baby Reindeer. It's going to be the only season. If they make a season 2, I'll be confused. But, Baby Reindeer.
It was
God
nice
damn.
where it left off. And it's a limited series, so I don't...
Well, Shogun's a limited series, and that's getting a season 2. Spoiler, I'm recommending that, so...
Alright, so where to begin? So, there's this baby reindeer, right?
It's a revelation in the last episode. There was a baby reindeer.
There was. We got closure.
We left off in episode 1, and Donnie accepted Martha's friend request. That was the end of episode 1. And the rest of the show is just constantly like... Up until episode 4, it's constantly like, Donnie, what the fuck? Or what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
We can talk about our headspace for those first couple episodes after the premiere, up until episode 4, because I feel like that's a separate experience than after episode 4, because it's such a earth-shattering reveal. So
it's the first because what episode is the event?
Episode 4 is the flashback.
4. Okay.
So I would say that
the first 3 episodes are like, oh, it's wacky.
It's wacky.
Not wacky.
Yes, guys,
Hello?
this is hilarious. This
It's
man's
not
being
hilarious.
stopped.
It's not. That's not. But like, you're like, this woman's insane, and then it after that episode, it gets. Listen.
The episode ends and he gets groped. Oh, that's goofy.
No, that is not what I'm saying. There are serious. I'm saying, for the most part, you're like, what the hell is wrong with this lady?
And what the hell is wrong with Donnie? Because the second episode begins, and he's on a date with a woman named Terry, who, honestly, I really enjoyed for this first couple episodes. My opinion does go down as the show goes on.
Same.
He lied about his entire identity because I guess he's afraid of his sexuality. He's afraid of commitment. So he goes by Tony, the construction worker. And if you look at Richard Gadd, he does not look like a construction worker.
No.
And there's just a whole scene of him ditching dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a swell guy.
Constantly afraid of
Connecting.
committing.
I can't blame him.
I mean,
given the context that we have
of episode 4. But,
yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you're
It's
going
really
on dates.
Fucked up.
It's like
mentally.
fucked up. Like you left someone. I feel like that's like a no for me. Like dating faux pas. At least finish the date, Donnie. But then he starts to fall in love with a woman named Terry, who's trans, and that creates kind of a conflicting feeling for him, especially due to episode 4 and what happens in there. The whole first 3 episodes is just setting up the lengths that Martha will take to get to Donnie and how insane she is and the extent of her stalking. Did you guys feel like these first couple episodes were effective, were good, you know, thoughts, anything? Because I know...
I thought she was crazy.
Yeah, we all knew that she was crazy after episode 1. Damn a reindeer.
I feel like maybe you get like a little sympathy for her just because I mean, she's clearly lying about.
No,
her
I
and
lost
then-
all sympathy after episode 3.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, once the groping happens, you're like, no, I'll bet
Well, I guess you still feel like she's fucked up in the head. Episode 3,
yeah.
where she
And that was
assaults
kind of
Terry
something.
and, like, you know, pretty phobic towards her. Well,
Yeah.
also, it turns out in episode 2, I wrote down my notes. She's a racist.
Yeah, that was kind of out of nowhere.
You don't know who can come around the corner. Asians. Completely.
And then it really goes off the rails
In
with
episode
the
3
Terry attack.
because she comes to his comedy shows in episode 1 and he gets to the semifinals because eventually Tony tells the truth to Terry that he lied about everything. And
Which,
I mean, I guess some respect, I guess, whatever. And she breaks up with him. Good. But she
yeah.
comes to the show basically like, you know...
That's what I didn't like. Listen, she's going there to the comedy show.
She wants to give him a second chance. She was...
I understand that, but she's going to the comedy show. She's being really snarky and, like, hoping that he fails. Like, if you want to give him a second chance, give him a second chance. If you want him to piss off, don't show up at his comedy show.
No, she doesn't want him to piss off because, like, she's
understand-
playing around with him.
I understand what she was doing, but, like, because she did want him back, but she wanted to be an asshole about it. I was just like, why is that?
Her attitude, I don't listen, I don't know how it is to be a woman. So
I do.
Later on in the show, there's like a lot of conflict that I just don't understand. But we'll get to it when we get to it.
The fact that she said that her friends were there to keep her from falling back into a routine of shame-based behavior with men, and then she ends up with him at the end of the night.
I mean, to be fair, that situation is because he essentially is actually performing pretty well, and after shaky start, and then Martha comes in.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm not a pervert. Let's put that out there. You don't lock up your daughters.
Eventually, they kick her out, and the guy in charge are so sorry that they actually felt so bad for him that they actually give him a spot in the comedy finals. Because that was the semifinals. And Terry and him get back together, but Martha breaks back in backstage, so they have to escape to a pub. She follows them and then assaults Terry.
Terrible security, by the way. How did she get back in?
I don't know. The show is over, I guess.
They are really, really bad at their jobs.
She was dragged out, like you'd think. Like
they didn't drag her out of the building. They just dragged her out.
She might
of the
be
room.
really.
Yeah, out to the lobby. Like why would?
She might be really stealthy. She's a seasoned stalker.
She is kind of like even. She doesn't look like it, but she kind of pops up. Throughout the series, just. Like in his home at the one episode.
I forget. Did he show up at his ex's mom's house by this point, or was this after? Oh yeah, it definitely was because he said, "I'm breaking up with you."
Because he fucking wonderful acting, by the way.
Oh,
for the screaming bit.
Can we talk about the acting real fast?
Well, yeah. For Donnie, the screaming part when he screams at Martha after she beats up Terry, and then Marsha as she's screaming in the comedy club. What did I call her? Marsha.
Like she's from the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, her fucking. She's just fucking terrifying. When she starts screaming.
She is obviously the standout of the show. She is terrifying, but it's so hard to read her emotions. I think Jessica Gunning, if she doesn't win for Best Supporting Act, would you put her? I guess she's the main actress of the show. She is very strong.
You are the one begging me for anal sex.
Oh, that made me feel so uncomfortable. Like,
Bumble lover.
Yeah, for context of that,
His
he was showing
thick old friends.
his coworkers at the pub that he works at the crazy emails that she was sending him, and he handed his phone over, and one of his coworkers thought it would be funny to email her back asking for anal sex. And
She takes it
that
seriously,
just
of course.
she did not realize, of course, that it was someone fucking around with her as a joke.
That reminded me
So-
of the video of the what was it, the Chris Hansen shithead that went to a guy who did meth with dandruff, and it was in the story like, if I'm the crazy one, why do I have pictures of his asshole on my phone?
What is this?
What?
Chris Hansen?
No, it was like
Or like a Chris Hansen-esque
yes,
guy?
investigation on YouTube. Like, why are you trying to meet with a 13-year-old boy? Stop it! Get away from me! And then he runs in the parking lot, and then he hits a car on the way out. But
She said she was 12.
But no, but essentially, he's trying to get poop medication to hide the fact that he was trying to meet a 13-year-old boy, and the guy's following him around like, I got pictures of your asshole on my phone, and the people are like, stop harassing this guy, and he's like, okay, so if I'm the bad one, why do I have pictures of his asshole on my phone? And she's on the comedy club like, he's begging me for anal sex, and she's just like passing the phone along. She does this later on in the show, not with anal sex, but with another thing, and it causes like a pretty shocking moment to happen. But that's later. The first 3 episodes, I think, set up the show very well, very effective, and I really do understand the characters by the end of the show, but it leaves a great foundation of thinking, what the fuck is going on? Because Donnie is such a weird protagonist, and trying to get into his headspace is the show, more than the stalking itself, and the effects of abuse that he goes through the course of how many years? I think it was like 4 years. That
Yeah, because it was like the start of the relationship with the other girl, the ex.
yes. Even before that.
Was it?
Well,
yes,
because he
it was
met.
before
Oh,
that
yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
met in that.
So
school.
Yeah, they met in the acting class. Yeah.
So episode 4, essentially, he finally goes to the police, and it's like, why did it take you so long to do it? And it's revealed that he actually was sexually abused before all this with an idol of his, because he found a guy that he loved as a writer while he was trying to start up his own shitty comedy act at the time, and he was manipulated and groomed.
I think he was cooking a little bit in his comedy. I think
So
it,
my
it
mom
wasn't
died
there.
yesterday.
I would have laughed at that.
With that
at a real
delivery
comedy
coming
show?
out with his clown wig, a tank top,
Whoa! Yeah.
and
pretending to shoot guns and fucking
and,
rockets.
and no shoes,
The no shoes is the best.
and a bar. You know how disgusting bars are?
Hey man. It was all he had.
He had shoes.
He worked. Forget about the shoes.
It's a bar. It's disgusting. Don't. Don't do it.
He worked
Well,
with what he had.
Well, how the turntables. Now look who's obsessed with feet.
Bro, it's disgusting.
If he gets a little ringworm, so what? He'll pay for it with his millions he earns from his comedy career.
And
because
this
he worked
and this
hard
show in particular.
and put the work in. Anyway.
I was so annoyed. Anyway,
Annoyed with his comedy.
well, also like the way he was doing his comedy show. Eventually, he does get more confident thanks to this writer saying that, oh, you have a chance to become really big someday if you follow my tutelage. But eventually, he just ends up hanging out in his apartment for like a year or so just doing hard drugs and getting sexually assaulted by this man.
Which is also
Which is very
something
shocking.
that he dragged him into. Like, it wasn't like he... I mean, I guess he kind of...
He consented, but also, like, he
did,
didn't know
but...
what he was going into. Like, obviously, he didn't know the whole point of it was to get groomed and sexually assaulted.
He made him feel safer than he was.
And it also shows why he has a hard time connecting with people, thanks to that trauma, as it shows through his previous relationship, which he was happy in, but hiding all this pain. And because I guess it made him feel like less of a man, you think? Because he was talking to his parents later on about his sexuality, and maybe that was his fear.
Yeah, well, it definitely like ended up confusing him. Because I mean, he identified as straight before all that happened.
It's also not as common for men to be harmed in that way. So it's more of like, it's seen publicly as more of like a woman problem, in quotes.
It's kind of scary in that way. But
I mean,
also,
it can happen. That type of thing can happen to literally anybody. I mean,
yes.
like Terry Crews had that sort of thing.
Yeah, he got sexually assaulted on the Expendables set.
Was it on Expendables?
Expendables 3, I think.
That was where someone, because he said someone like basically groped him.
Yeah, Expendables 3, or one of those
disgusting.
movies. That's why he didn't come back.
But he didn't like retaliate or get violent with the person.
He just didn't come back for any of the sequels because I don't think he respected not being stood up. Like, it's like that whole situation is just so uncomfortable for anyone, and I feel like a lot of people look at a man getting sexually assaulted and don't take it as seriously. But also,
which is what I thought they were going for with this. I mean, that's what I thought they were going for with him and Martha. I keep wanting to call her Marsh.
With the stalker
Martha.
thing, because he reports it to the police and they don't take it seriously.
But it's not that.
And then it gets so much deeper.
Yeah, it's not that he doesn't. He just doesn't actually say anything. He's just like, oh, she's just sending a lot of emails.
Yeah.
It's just him feeling repressed, and also the stalking actually, portraying him as he wants to be seen. The show, honestly, my only real issue is that sometimes the show kind of feels like it's explaining what the point is of the characters, like just literally explaining, this is your problem, this is your, like, you pick and choose what you want to hear and feed it into your own delusions, or she's feeding your ego and your addiction. I guess it makes sense with Terry because she's a therapist. The one scene of like, I can reason with her, which is a horrible decision. Yeah. But then she gets called a whore, and she's like, you know what? I'm fucking done with this already.
And it being a limited series, it kind of limits their ability to show. I mean, you can show, obviously, but
they kind of really
you kind of lose the ability to, in a way.
Yeah, the episode 4 was pretty harsh, man.
We don't have to talk about episode 4.
I mean, we kind of have it. Like, it faces the whole foundation of the rest of the show, because now we know. Because there's a big theme of the show is like facing your own sexuality, and being comfortable within yourself, and having like, what does abuse do to your sexuality? Because he doesn't really know how to feel about any of this, because it does, like, the abuse has triggered him to respond in a certain way.
Is an aspect of abuse that doesn't really get talked about a lot, so I guess I do respect them in that regard.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah, being sexually confused after. Because, I mean, I guess if you, like, we don't know what he was like as a teenager, but that's usually when people kind of start figuring out the sexuality. So, like, if he was already having, like, gay thoughts and repressing those, and then that happened to him, it's kind of like if that were me, I'd be viewing that as a bad thing, because that's my only experience with It's awkward
It's
to talk
complicated.
about, but you know,
Have sex.
it's like if
have
you're
sex.
already confused and that happens, it just makes you like that much more.
Brain switch to shutdown.
Because
mode.
they did hint at that. They hinted that he was or no, because that's I got confused with the timeline. So I guess Terry was after the assault, but shown before the assault is revealed.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we were already shown that he's kind of uncomfortable being seen making public affections with Terry because he's scared about his masculinity, and that he feels uncomfortable being around macho bros and stuff like that. We already kind of knew that he felt uncomfortable with his sexuality, but reconstituting that after the abuse, it kind of makes it really kind of fucked up in a way. I don't think they ever established that before the assault he was ever into that, but I feel like he discovered it after like that relationship with the one woman fell apart.
Well, because that was the porn addiction thing
After
where he spent weeks like going to his laptop. Because he broke and looked up gay porn the one day because he was like, I gotta know, I guess.
Yeah, because he couldn't.
And he ended up enjoying it.
Because he couldn't have sex with his girlfriend anymore, which resulted in him breaking up. Is that really like a big thing? This feels so uncomfortable to ask. Oh my god. I don't know who to ask about.
Couple.
No, I don't.
Ask your question.
No, I feel uncomfortable. No, I'm not asking this. I do not need these.
What do you want?
Like, whenever Donnie refuses to have sex with these women, they're like, the whole relationship just shuts down. I guess it's not being open, but...
I do think it's dramatic that the entire relationship shuts down.
Yeah, because...
if it was like...
both of them did.
If it was like months, like, we don't really get...
I think his first relationship broke down over a series of months, because we see that... like he can't...
skips out on her birthday to go get high.
Yes. Also, like, you know, he tries to get in the sack, and he just doesn't feel comfortable. And, yeah, I can definitely see. But then Terry, like, she just, like, stops, like, being able to get up for the day until he's able to finally do it. It feels weird, right?
But I don't know how it is for trans women, obviously. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, I'm not a woman, so I don't understand, but...
I was very confused during that sequence. So, when he was going through all that, the mental gymnastics about, you know, him starting to use thoughts and pictures of Martha to, you know, to crank it.
Yeah, I didn't really
He didn't actually sleep with Martha, right?
No. So
Okay,
he was
so that was
imagining
just
doing that to get going with Terry. It's sex is uncomfortable to talk about, if you believe it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I mean, obviously, this guy has a completely different worldview than me, because I haven't been
You're not
through
from Dublin.
Entirely different worldview, because, like, you know, different genders, different... it's so hard to talk. Donnie Dunn.
That was pretty funny.
That's what I'm talking about, him cooking in his comedy. Like, he could've... I feel like if he rides the YouTube fame from his
mental breakdown.
Well,
yeah.
So we get there. So episode 4, you know, lays down this foundation, and Donnie eventually does get I forget what exactly it is to get her in trouble. I think it was it was looking up her name, and then specifically getting an email, and they're able to give a warning to her. However, that's the beginning of stalking his parents. Also, she gets him kicked out of his ex's mom's place.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just, dude, that was kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, how does he get kicked out?
Because his ex got assaulted in the street by getting a cola thrown in her face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have. I mean, this show was already so dark anyway, but I feel like if it was a more dramatic thing, like the way that she beat up Terry, like if something like that happened.
Well, he didn't report that like he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel like that was a big part of it too, like the fact that he wasn't doing anything to help his situation.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's accurate that you kind of have to kick these people down a little bit in a fucked up way, because they've already been through so much, but like to get them to stop fucking up their own life.
I mean, again, I lost sympathy after the racism and the transphobia. So
oh no, I was talking about Donnie in the way that he was kicked out of the house, because
but you understand,
he wasn't really doing anything to help a situation. So
plus, it wouldn't
had
be
to
safe.
give at some point.
She was in the house.
Yeah.
There's a certain point where you have to take responsibility, because he could have stopped it. There's multiple points in the story where he actively decides to not stop it, because he realizes that it helps him in a way, which is fucked up. But
I
it's
honestly
realistic.
think when Martha was sitting outside at the bus stop for days and days, just waiting to catch a glimpse of him,
just call
and
the
she
police.
was just
do a wellness check,
and she was just
She'll hide.
sitting there freezing her ass off. He should not have intervened. Just let it play out. You are not responsible for that woman.
You're not.
Just let her. If she freezes to death, that's her
Apparently,
problem.
she knows how to get people to be manipulated, because she's a seasoned pro.
I mean, it's revealed at the end that she was abused by her parents, or at least neglected. It's not really clear what happened.
She says that she didn't get much attention from them, and that she had that her stuffed baby reindeer that would comfort her whenever her parents were fighting with each other.
Yes, that is the big reveal. Yeah. But it puts together why she's so good at manipulating people, is that she's had to reach out and take all the attention that she's ever gotten in her life.
Eventually, she starts harassing his parents. I actually really like his parents as
bro, his parents are goats.
Just
fully
they were actual goats.
The dad not taking any of her shit and just yelling at her, but also potentially incriminating himself, because it turns out, because after he realizes that she's going to keep antagonizing his parents, he's like, I need to make sure that this stops. So I need her to breach her contract or her warning with the police so she can actually get arrested. And turns out that Martha has been literally recording every single conversation. And the dad said that I have kids in my van outside my house after she calls him a pedo. So, be concerned about that, bud.
I thought it was outside his work, because he was at work with HR.
Minor details. Yeah. We're getting lost
because
in the weeds
he was
here.
like,
wait, what happened with that? I don't remember that at all.
No, because Martha was harassing his parents,
yes.
And she specifically called his dad's job to tell them that his dad was a pedophile, and so HR called his dad into the office, and his dad was being sarcastic with HR, and he's like, yes, I'm a pedophile. I have kids out in my van in the parking lot right now.
I remember that.
It was in a conversation. But essentially, this causes him to spiral, and eventually he gets to a point where he does his new comedy show. Oh yeah, he breaks up with Terry, because...
No, Terry breaks up with...
well, she breaks up with him. But the point is that that relationship ends because of him, and he finally does his comedy show where after a couple failed jokes, he breaks down and just starts talking about all the pain that he's experienced. And because of all that, which was a gut-wrenching 10 minutes of him just breaking down on stage, Richard Gadd, really good as an actor. And he's a stand-up guy. He's also wrote for Sex Education.
Me and Justin crowed during this season.
It'll be
The
next episode.
Yeah.
Episode.
I cried during this episode.
I thought you were
During
talking about the
breakdown.
monologue, and essentially, it's just a deep 10-minute performance of just him breaking down, and I think that really good performance. And if he doesn't get any work off of this, I would be shocked. Then it turns out that he gets success from this. So this didn't happen in real life because we would have found the video of him breaking down. So this is dramatized for the show, and he gets publicity from it, but
the whole aspect of the real life baby reindeer.
Yeah, it kind of. We'll talk about that at the end. But then she gets his phone number, and he just starts psychologically honing in by listening to every single voicemail because he's so fascinated with her, just as she's fascinated with him. And he doesn't want to report her for anything, despite the fact that she's threatening him multiple times, until she threatens his parents.
Again.
Well, act like with a knife, like threatening that she's going to stab him. So she gets arrested and convicted, and we see her kind of like broken mind during court as she gets sentenced. Again, I feel like the performance there, because you shouldn't feel sorry for this woman based on the actions that she's actually done. And like, I know on paper you're like, oh, she's mentally ill, but you know, it takes a lot to actually like get connected to a person that's so fucked up.
There's a whole part of that where Terry, she's a therapist, so like I get it to an extent, but she keeps saying like she's mentally ill, like don't call her crazy, and I get it,
but like as a person you can't, like, you're experiencing this like up front.
I feel
it's so hard to like
Terry can say that. Like Terry can say like, oh, she's mentally
yeah, but until you actually
Donnie
experience it,
like,
you know,
yeah, the person experiencing that,
like the apology scene where he has to apologize,
right, to call her fucking crazy, to call her anything that he wants. You want to know why? Because she touched his penis. Like, no.
The idea that we actually do feel sorry is all due to Jessica Gunning and that performance. Her in the court.
I didn't feel sorry.
I mean, you don't feel sorry, but like you get it.
You feel sympathetic.
Yeah. Like obviously
she's the villain.
She's
obviously
done for, but yeah.
I clapped.
Good riddance.
Obviously. And then the show keeps going though, and so he quits comedy for a bit and moves back in with his parents, and then after that his ex comes back and is like, you know, now that you have all this settled, you can move back in with my mom because she misses you and all that. So he moves back into his ex's mom's house, and he feels like he has enough courage to go to his abuser, the former writer, and tell him off. But once he actually gets there, he just gets back in that same cycle again.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we don't know necessarily.
I don't think he goes into the cycle. I know he goes there to confront him, and then, you know, the guy kind of catches him off guard because he says, "Oh, I saw your video and what you said. I thought it was very brave," and so that really catches him off guard. And then the guy, you know, gives him that false promise where he's like, "Oh, come work with me. It won't be like last time." And, you know, in his mind, you can see on his face that he's like, I don't believe it. And I think just out of necessity to get out of the guy's apartment, he just says, I'd love to work with you.
So
But then he goes around the corner and he's like trying to catch his breath because he can't believe the interaction he just had. I don't think he would end up going back.
Because I feel like this is we can like separate the real life from the show, like, at this point. I think that, I don't know, the way that Donnie has been wired throughout the show kind of feels like he's just in this endless cycle of self-doubt and fascination, and I feel like I could definitely see him going back into that rabbit hole. Not maybe, he's more mature to know that it's very bad.
Yeah, I feel like he could, but I don't know.
But I think that the ending of the show is very poignant. So he... Oh, you want to say?
No, I was gonna say we forgot to mention that when he goes after he has his breakdown on the stage.
Oh, his parents.
And he eventually tells his parents.
Yeah.
And he tells them that he thinks he might be bi or he's not sure, but he's like I need to have your support, otherwise he's like, you can either live with having a possibly bi or gay son or a dead son, because I can't deal with this stress anymore that I've been going through. And then he just tells him, what happened to him, and he thinks that his dad would see him as less of a man. And then his dad says, would you see me as less of a man?
I felt like that was super... Like, it shows you that, like, other people can live through those experiences, and that you can confide in those people in your community. I feel like that was a very strong... Because
that's the part where I shed some tears. Because then his dad, admits that he was a altar boy in the Catholic Church, which is... Realistic. Unfortunately, a very common thing that happens when you're an altar boy, so it makes sense.
I feel like fucking Johnny Depp.
Fucking Johnny Depp.
Because I feel like the whole idea of, like, men being sexually assaulted and just assaulted in general has been tainted by that fucking Johnny Depp case, because they're both fucking assholes. But I don't even know at this point, because apparently maybe Amber Heard is innocent. I don't know. Probably not.
Nah,
I've heard some people say, well, it's all trauma based on her experiences with him on the set of Aquaman 2.
They
and stuff like that.
Seem like the type of couple that just, like, feed off of each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got that feeling.
A lot of people online are saying, justice for men. Men...
definitely don't trust anything that Amber Heard says, especially considering that her ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, whatever she was, also had the same things to say about Amber Heard.
Was Elon Musk? Whose side was Elon Musk on?
I think he was Amber's boyfriend at a certain point.
Yeah, but he also didn't care for Amber.
But, like,
so,
this whole, like, what I'm pointing out is that the whole idea of men, being innocent in certain things is being tainted a little bit by the internet and, like, strong boys and justice for men. It'd be cringy. Like, I feel like objectivity should be the way forward, but there's always going to be biases, I guess. And this show does show that there's a lot of bias that can come into, like, how people assume things, but you can confide in people and you can, like, connect with people. But it's also hard for people who have been abused to actually connect in a genuine way. It's just a very strong emotional hook to the show. And I think Donnie is such a complex, interesting character.
Yeah,
like, he's so human.
I feel like we're very used to seeing victims as, like, 100% innocent, and it was nice to see, like, you can still be a victim and go through those traumas and also do fucked up things.
Yeah, Yeah, I feel like it's definitely more realistic because like you go through trauma and you're not gonna be like a squeaky clean person after it. It does affect your behavior going
Yeah.
forwards, but you can still blame people for having that behavior, regardless of how it's caused by. You know. But the end of the show, I feel like, has a really nice ending where Donnie goes to a bar to get a drink for his sorrows, but he forgets his wallet. And the bartender, in the same way that he gave Martha pity, gives him a drink on the house. And that.
And then he has like a. It looks like he has a.
That's what I thought too.
realization or
Yeah.
something. But
Yeah. Anyone can
Because-
be in that situation. I think.
What was your because it is kind of ambiguous, even though it is full circle.
I can be a comedian after all. I can make a joke at it.
Maybe I am funny.
Donnie done.
I love how he
I want to watch that scene again.
I love how he quits comedy and after he gets a drink from a bartender. This is some ironic enjoyment we can get at it. But I feel like it's definitely don't like you can be in that same situation. I don't like I applying it to him. It's kind of weird, but I definitely like he reflected on. Yeah, you can be in that situation as well if you look pitiable or something. I'm trying to think of like the symbolic. The show it does have so many layers.
I'll tell you my interpretation of the ending because I feel like maybe I'm not that it's controversial, but maybe it's like kind of different than what other people are getting at because I feel like what they were going for was like him being in the same position but then also continuing the cycle of abuse. To me it looked like it was the ending of the cycle of abuse because like you mentioned it, the look on his face, just the realization of it all, like at a certain point it's gotta come to an end.
He can continue living and push past it, you think, right?
Yeah. Like I don't find it very realistic that he goes on and becomes a stalker himself because of this. Like, no.
He comes
I
into
think
the
it's-
bar and the bartender like can I
That's
have
the
another
second
drink?
season. He's Martha.
Marcia.
Martha.
Marcia.
He looks at that bartender and he's like, "It should be illegal to have your bone structure.
What's
They should give you a man tax."
what's a male version of hang your curtains?
I don't know.
I'll
hang
It's
your
so-
curtains.
It's
I'll
so
clean your
not
drapes.
sexual. That's a very. I mean, that was a very good. What is it called? Metaphor, analogy.
Metaphor.
No, there's like specifically for sexual stuff. Innuendo.
It is
That was a good innuendo
It-
because like it's
It's a-
so barely sexual. Like it's just if it wasn't said in that inflection, it wouldn't have been sexual at all.
it wasn't sexual when he said it.
No, I feel
I'll
like
hang
he was
your curtains.
he was trying to get a laugh from it.
Too much.
He was
Too
dicking
much.
around.
Too much Shrek
Yeah.
on
He
that one.
fucked around and he found out.
Too
Where's my
much.
phone
Too
at?
much Shrek on that
We
one.
gotta
You feel uncomfortable.
no, not uncomfortable, but
Your
I need
phone.
my phone because we are going into our first break because I have to pee.
Hey.
Where's my phone?
Your phone.
Where's my phone?
Where's your bloody phone? Do you want me to call your bloody phone, which is behind you?
God damn it!
So that was Baby Reindeer.
I gotta pee.
She gotta pay. No, you gotta get through this end.
Oh god damn it!
You gotta get through the bed.
I'm gonna step on the laptop. Pick up.
No, I can pick up the laptop.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah,
Fuck
you
it.
do the commercial break.
Donnie done.
It's just Justin saying that over and over again.
Da 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 da.
Alright, do we pause?
No, we can keep talking. Is there anything you wanted to discuss about Baby Reindeer?
I thought it was really nice, just the shots of hit like when he goes to visit his parents the second time in order to tell them about what happened, and then he just kind of stays there for like a week or so.
Yeah, because
he completely turns his phone off.
Oh, that was like
Because
that's a good realization,
yeah.
like just to get away from it all.
Yeah.
That's
the shots of them like just walking through the woods and stuff, and
it's a pretty big shock when you see that she actually found his phone number.
Yeah. And he comes back to fucking like 50-something voicemails that she left him. God.
Stalked him for over 2.5 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. That is fucking insane.
And that's his fault, sort of, kind of, not really. I feel like I'm victim shaming.
Wow, yeah, way to victim blame Max.
Dude,
no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And then could have reported her threatening him earlier.
Well, he was supposed to fucking report her
for the Terry assault.
Yeah, when she fucking assaulted Terry. Terry specifically wanted him to.
And then she calls him out for this. It makes sense why they break up.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the actors are going to get nominated for Emmys? I think the three...
They were really good.
The three main ones probably are going to get nominations.
I also will say the perpetrator of the assault, that his character, he very much visually reminded me of Louis C.K., which,
what a prick. Secret Life of his ass. That's a reference to the fact that he was in Secret Life of Pets. Ah! Oh, you interrupted something.
Interrupted what?
Nothing.
Oh, fine.
I was talking about how the perpetrator of the assault kind of looked like Louis C.K.
A little bit. I thought he kind of looked like...
I don't think the mic's picking you up. Get back on the bed.
Okay. I thought this was a break. I think we're back into it.
No, we're still recording.
We record on the
Hello.
bed.
I thought the podcast doesn't go on without me. I thought you guys couldn't. I thought you couldn't live without me.
You thought wrong.
Was he in anything? Let me look up his actor because I don't think he was in anything else I've seen. But he does look familiar.
Darian's actor?
Yeah. Who is he? Baby Reindeer.
Some dude.
Some asshole.
His actor isn't.
Some British dude.
I always wonder how people feel during those scenes.
Uncomfortable, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, you think there's any sort of comedy or like jokes?
Comedy
in just to levy the situation
while
recording. Recording.
You mean like when it's happening and then Donnie stops in the middle and he's like, "You could have bought me dinner first."
Donnie Dunn. He's super high on the couch. No, this is some Matt and Trey humor right here. He finishes
in the middle of the fucking assault.
Oh, that's not. Oh God, that's even more fucked up. He gets done and he's like, he wakes up suddenly from the drug-induced coma, just completely sober, just like,
oh, Todd.
You could have bought me the dinner first.
Todd Goodman Hill.
Donnie Dunn.
Blacklist him from Hollywood. I'm kidding. So far,
I'm looking on Wikipedia.
Haven't seen any of this. So I haven't seen him before.
Everest, Rebecca, Robin in the Hood.
I haven't seen any of this.
Robin in the Hood, baby. With Wendell and Chris.
Oh, Imitation Game? I've seen that.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Oh, yeah. So maybe I do remember him from that.
Donnie Dunn. He was in Black Mirror.
Interesting.
He was in some video games. Oh, he's Peter Pettigrew.
He's Peter Pettigrew.
What?
Oh.
What?
In the game.
Oh, so he used to be. Oh, in the games. That makes more sense. Because I was like, there's no fucking way. He's way too tall.
I was looking at it.
Way too
I saw
tall, way
him,
too skinny.
Peter Pettigrew. I'm like,
He could have lost weight, but.
I was like, damn. For the games, Harry Potter and the Prison of Azkaban, and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Anyway,
Moving on.
final thoughts on Baby Reindeer.
Great series.
Break the cycle.
9 out of 10. Really damn fine television.
9.5 out of 10.
I'll go with a 9.
Like I said, I feel like some points were a little.
Wasn't
too...
I the one that recommended that? Sorry.
I
keep
kind of
cutting
did,
people.
but essentially we kind of forced it at the last second because you guys didn't want to talk about music. We could have been talking about Kendrick Lamar, Buster on the Beat, Hope Beat. We could have been talking about that, but no, you guys are like, I fucking hate the American music system, and I don't want to listen to it even for a second.
Period.
Because we don't want to talk about music, man. I just don't.
But Buster
not
on the
into
Beat,
The
Hope.
same.
I'm not into it.
The same 10 things.
Certified
over.
lover boy, certified pedophile.
We can talk about the Kendrick and Drake beef if you
We
want
just
to take a little.
interrupt the entire movie
take a little
podcast
breaky
just
break.
to talk about the Kendrick and Drake beef.
We
Well,
can do that.
we're an hour in now, so we gotta talk about our movie.
All right.
Wait,
America.
wait. We gotta spin the wheel for our next TV show.
I thought we do that at the end.
Not for the TV show.
Yeah, we have to, after the TV segment, we pick our TV show, and after the movie, we pick our movie. So,
Should we keep shit balanced?
instead of elimination style, because we have already 5 movie options on here, whatever we land on is what we're watching.
Oh, please, Jesus.
So, our options include Fargo Season 2,
I'd
Xavier
be okay with
Renegade
that.
Angel Season 2,
I think I've already seen that.
Shogun, the first season, because now it's a show that's not a limited series, Barry Season 1, and also Fargo Season 2 again, because Justin really wants to watch the show.
We need to get into it.
Please.
You got 2 out of 5.
please.
Okay. And it is...
I like my chances.
I want you to guess what it is.
Probably
Shogun.
Not Fargo.
It's Fargo.
Oh,
It's
yay.
Fargo?
We're watching Fargo Season 2.
Finally!
After
Now-
6 months.
Now, who's in this season? I want to look this up real fast.
Well, I can tell you it's
I accidentally-
not gonna be.
It's a different set of characters.
I accidentally started watching the first episode of the newest season,
Oh my god.
and it was something about Halloween. It looked pretty interesting.
We got Kirsten Dunst, Patrick Wilson, and Jesse Plemons.
Interesting.
All right, Breaking Bad.
Kirsten Dunst. And
Oh yeah,
Jesse
Jesse
Plemons.
Plemons. That's Badger. Oh no.
No,
That's
that's-
I remember now. Jesse Plemons.
Todd.
Todd.
Yeah.
Damn. Is that why they got married? Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons, because they met on Fargo Season 2? The lore, man. It's gonna be great.
They're married. Oh, that's a cute couple. I like that.
So, we
And then
watched-
they start in Civil War together.
As in, he was a racist.
Oh, God. What kind of American are you?
Oh, I understand
was-
why he said that, but
He was the standout of the trailer, and he's not credited in the movie, by the way, but he shows up just
Yeah.
for that one scene, for the most tense scene in the movie, and then dips. We
Yeah.
saw Civil War, by the way.
yeah. Not to get too much into it, but if you want my opinion, it should have
8.
should have done a lot more that it didn't do. I was expecting a different movie,
8 out of 10.
to say the least. 8 out of 10. Mine's probably more like a 7 or a 6 out of 10.
So it's a
Maybe
6.5.
maybe a 7. That's fair.
Yeah.
What about you
Yeah.
for our quick
Probably same here.
mid podcast?
Probably the same here. 7 out of 10. But let's move on to our movie that we watched.
You really want to get into Team
I do.
America?
I do.
I do too.
I'm just getting my
Because
revenge out because I'm
We
mad.
need
Everybody has AIDS, Max.
comedic levity. We need
After Baby Reindeer made us feel depression. Fargo's gonna have a lot of comedy in there, a lot of dark comedy.
yeah. I'm expecting a
Gonna
lot
murder
of
gonna murder your husband. Gonna murder your Wait, I gotta get my Minnesota accent, don't you know?
I'm very scared that it's not gonna be better than the first season, because the first season was such a banger.
Well, you need to stop comparing because every season is its own thing.
I can still compare. I can still rank American Horror Story
I-
seasons.
I need you to go into Fargo season 2, imagining that it's a different show.
Anything past season 4 for American Horror Story is not.
We're not here
We're
to talk
not
about American
talking
Horror
about
Okay.
American Horror. We're talking
Okay.
about Fargo, and then we're gonna talk about puppets,
All right, let's
puppet racism.
Specifically marionettes.
So, we all saw Team America before this, but I was bamboozled by peer pressure to not recommend Parasite. But we watched Team America, and how did it hold up?
Very good.
Yeah. Very
I
good.
still enjoy the movie. Many parts of the movie still make me laugh my ass off to this day. And I probably watched it for the first time when I was like in middle school. So, yeah.
It is
That
to
says a lot.
be. It is to be mentioned that he is a enormous South Park fan.
Yes.
You
very
both
much
are.
so.
I mean, yeah, him
Me,
more so,
Yeah.
definitely. Because
very
I
much
have
into South
episodes
Park.
of South Park that I won't watch for spiritual piece.
I have been watching South Park since well, first of all, my mom showed me South Park when I was like a toddler.
Well,
And
that's not
Good parenting.
I started
I'm kidding.
I started watching South Park independently when I was probably about 9 or 10 years old.
Oh,
I've probably been
that was
watching
your
South Park
Barney.
pretty much
Cartman
that-
was your role model.
Honestly.
Feeding.
I've been watching I started watching Dexter,
feeding a
not
kid his
Dexter's
parents.
Laboratory, but the stabby one, when I was 9.
Well,
So-
I can't complain. I was watching horror movies since like 4 years old, and all they did was boobies. Look away.
It is what it is.
South Park holds a
Our
very special place in
parents-
my heart.
Our
We're
parents did their
well-adjusted.
best.
We're more-
We're well adjusted.
yeah, we are more well adjusted than some people.
Than some people. About 45% of the population, I'd say.
So,
Team America.
speaking of America,
Fuck yeah.
how do we even want to get into this movie? Spoilers.
Yes.
Spoilers for a 20-year-old movie.
I mean that.
It's
should-
not
we
20
should
years
just have
old
a.
yet.
We should just
Came out in
have
October.
before the
Thank you.
podcast begins. We should just have a little. You know how they have those
Spoiler
warnings in the beginning
No.
for the spoilers. Just
No,
spoiler one.
if we don't say spoilers before the segment, then that's our fault.
Listen,
I'm not
it is.
recording an intro.
It
just saying
is
spoilers.
a movie from 2005.
Four.
4. God
Yes.
dang. Wait, it came out the same year as the South Park movie? Wait, no. The South Park movie came out in 1999.
Yes. There you go.
I
There
thought
you
that
go.
came out. Damn. Okay, so I was thinking the South Park movie came out in 2004, and then this movie came out in like 2009.
The success of South Park really needs to be studied because after 2 years of that show, it already had a movie in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's so cheap. Why
I mean,
not?
it broke.
People want
It
what
broke
they
barriers. It
And Simpsons had to
completely
wait more
ruined
years.
TV censorship. Anyway, the movie is about. What the fuck is it about? It's about
So,
a guy from Hollywood.
wait, so that's not the. So the movie begins, and Team America saved the fucking day from some terrorists that are gonna fuck up France.
In Paris, France. Yeah.
And they save the day and don't cause any collateral damage, and they do an awesome fight. So this movie's made with marionettes, as we all know, and they are butt ugly, but they also result in a lot of hilariousness because they don't know how to make them walk in a way that's natural. So it's a lot of just goofy as hell walking. Hey, come with me. I gotta show you something.
For audio listeners, which is all of you, he got up and walked weird.
Goofy walk.
He goofy walked.
He tried to walk like the marionettes in Team America.
Let's make this interesting.
Listen, yes, about that scene, one of the very first scenes in the movie shows a kung fu style fight between two marionettes,
That's
one
when
Team
you-
American,
Guy.
And then one terrorist.
and one terrorist.
From an undisclosed country.
Well, that's implied that they're from the Middle East.
Turkestan.
Yeah, Turkestan. By the way, that's not a real country, if anyone was wondering.
It was the
Oh
first,
no!
It was the first point in the movie where you realize, oh, they're gonna play with the fact that the marionettes are so stupid.
And so they have this martial arts style scene, but when the puppets get up to each other, it's literally just them, just kind of hugging back and forth, just moving their arms, flailing wildly, nothing happening at all, because I guess the puppeteers are just having fun with it, obviously, because it's a very ridiculous movie.
Apparently, Matt and Trey have said that they regret doing puppets.
Regret.
Well, the whole they said it was so difficult they never wanted to do it again because of how bad the experience
I
was.
mean, that makes sense, but I feel like puppet. Because imagine this movie live action.
Or
Like
I don't know, you could have had it in a different animation style. I guess you
live
could
action
consider this
or
animation.
I guess claymation.
Imagine claymation.
Oh
Team
my
America.
God.
I don't know. I feel like puppets made the movie.
No, so they end up saving Paris, France, but in the midst of all that, they do a shitload of damage to Paris.
It's America. We're the best in the world.
Yes.
We know what we're doing.
And one of the terrorists is actually seen to be alive, thought to be dead, gets up and shoots one of the members of Team America and kills him. The other members fire back at the terrorist and kill him.
But they were in a serious relationship.
Yeah. Two of the members were together.
One woman that I don't remember the name of.
Lisa.
And
Lisa!
I don't remember any of these fucking
You can tell
characters
who's watched
besides
this movie
Kim
the most.
Jong-un and Gary. But the idea, they're playing this movie completely straight, but it's all a big joke.
Right, so the guy that dies is Carson. He was engaged to Lisa.
We got the expert here.
And then you have one of the other members who is Joe. And then you have Sarah.
How the fuck do you know all their names?
Sarah and Chris, and the leader of Team America is Spotswood, and he stays at the base with their supercomputer that they call intelligence.
We have no intelligence. I will say, oh my god, the depiction of the fucking puppets.
I think that's supposed to be Osama.
So
In the
it
beginning,
looks like it,
they have Osama bin Laden?
Yeah,
I
so
didn't...
well, if you notice, as they go through, it's like different terrorist groups. So in the beginning, it's Osama, and Osama gets blown up when he tries to go into the Louvre.
I didn't even realize it was different terrorist groups.
Yeah. And then later on, in the movie, when they have Gary disguise himself as a terrorist and go into Cairo, yes, with the terrible.
He had plastic surgery.
they call it Valmorphize or something like that.
It's like they took some of my beard hair, like shaved it off, and then like glued it on in chunks.
So when he goes to Cairo and he's talking to the other terrorists there, that guy is supposed to be a Chechnyan, leader of a Chechnyan terrorist group, because they talk with like a Russian accent. And then the supreme terrorist for the movie, the main villain, is of course Kim Jong-il.
Well, they just called them all terrorists, so I just kind of assumed they were all working for the same organization.
Yeah. It is a little confusing because the Chechnyan does look like another one of these
well, I guess
terrorists.
In America, it doesn't matter which country they're from.
No, they're all terrorists.
Yeah, that's stellar political commentary from Matt and Trey. Terrorize this.
So after the opening scene with Paris, it cuts to New York City where there's a musical going on, and actor Gary Johnston is the lead in this musical, and they're singing a song about AIDS and how the whole world has died from AIDS. He gets a standing ovation. The leader of Team America, Spotswood, was in the crowd. And
played by Cosmo.
Yes, the guy who voices Cosmo in Fairly Odd Parents, and also Timmy's dad.
And that's declassified.
And also Jorgen von Strangle.
I didn't know that.
Many voices, yes.
You didn't know that?
Many voices.
I knew that.
Jorgen?
Yes.
Okay.
Timmy Turner! He plays Spotswood. Spotswood goes to Gary's dressing room and tells him that he's got some great acting chops and that he has a special offer for him and to follow him out to his car. And he says, get in the car. And Gary's like, oh, I get it.
You're going to make me suck your
I
cock.
go down on you and then you offer me a part in a movie.
I love how he's able to give us a full play-by-play of this movie.
I have seen it so many times. And then Spotswood is like, no, I just want to show you something. He's like, yeah, I'll bet you do.
Do we have anything
we gotta
criticize,
cut,
though? Or are we just
cut
gonna
this
just
down.
recap the entire movie?
No,
play-by-play?
So basically he gets in the limo with Spotswood, and they fly off to... They fly off to the Team America base.
Who is that?
Oh, also I love that because if you pay close attention,
no, we can't say that. They can't.
in the opening scene with the character Carson, he's holding up a ring to give to Lisa.
And
but
it's
if you
an
pay
actual
attention,
ring.
it's an actual person's hand holding the ring, though.
Wait, no, go back because I want to see that now.
It looks like an actual hand.
No.
Depends per episode.
Oh, back to the movie though.
Yeah.
So Spotswood flies Gary out to Team America's base. Basically tells him that he's their only hope to stop terrorist organizations
and they're
from
all stereotypes. That
Yeah.
are played completely straight, but jokes.
tells him that he's their only hope for like basically saving the world from these terrorist organizations because they need an actor. They need someone that can blend in to these terrorist groups.
I fucking hate actors, bro. I hate actors.
So he meets the team, the ones that I mentioned before. Spotswood, of course, is the leader.
Right, we gotta turn this off.
Sarah
We're gonna be distracted the entire time.
Sarah is Sarah is like she graduated from a clairvoyant school. Joe is a football player, one of those stereotypical all-American football guys. Chris is the martial arts expert, and then Lisa is a psychologist major. Yeah. So he meets all of them. Spotswood tells Gary, like, so you have a choice. You can do this for us, or if you're not interested, there's the door. And Gary's like, all right, thanks. And he leaves.
I gotta go back to auditioning for Captain Kirk in Star Trek. It's Chris Pine.
Oh my god, it is. how the fuck did I not realize that? It looks just like him.
So he leaves, takes some time to kind of... He takes some time to think.
In front of actual American monuments.
Yes, they actually set up this puppet in Washington in a bunch of different spots. It's just really funny.
It's a big fucking face.
They have a country music style song playing in the background as he contemplates.
We need to talk about the musical elements of this movie.
Very good. Very, very good.
I don't think they're as good as Bigger, Longer, and Uncut's music. Madison saw both movies. I listened to the
I
music
watched both
again,
movies today.
and I'm going to say that Bigger, Longer, and Uncut better as a musical. This is
I
funnier
don't
than
think
what
so.
I remember. What do you mean?
I
There's
don't-
barely, like, the songs here, like, they're not all sung by the characters. First off, second,
Alright, fine.
montage.
That's my favorite song.
What about the song where they just rant about Pearl Harbor for?
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about our favorite song.
Pearl Harbor sucks, and I miss you.
Ben Affleck is bad.
Matt Damon.
We can't say the organization of actors, by the way. We can't say it.
Just know that they are called the Film Actors Guild, and if you can figure out what the acronym for that is, there you go.
Yeah, we're not saying that. But Alec Baldwin can. Also,
Actually,
he
it's pronounced Eric Barwin.
Also, he actually loves that character, Alec Baldwin, in real life. He actually loves that character in real life. He's like, why didn't they ask me to play myself? Getting shot.
They never asked Alec Baldwin to play him. They parodied him. They parodied him on South Park too.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he loved it. Matt Damon loves them as well, but he was confused by his portrayal in the movie. He plays... he doesn't play himself. His character is just saying his name.
Yes, and I think I mentioned this on the last
Yes, you
recorded
did.
episode. They did not have enough time with their time crunch that they were on to completely get Matt Damon's puppet to come out looking normal. So he came out looking kind of deformed and stupid. So they thought it would be really funny if the only thing that he could say was his own name.
Matt Damon.
Genius move, honestly, because that's like one of the famous quotes from this movie. Like, I don't think you can say Team America, or you can talk about Team America without mentioning that. I feel like no, but I feel like
It pops
the
up
first
several
thing,
times though.
Yeah, the first thing you think of is America, fuck yeah, and then people go Matt Damon. Like Chris, when we told Chris that we were watching this movie, he immediately said that.
Chris is her cousin.
Yeah, sorry to name drop. It's okay. We
Was
can
he in the-
we
was he
can
in that
we can
picture
bleep
too?
him out if it wasn't. If
I
he
do
didn't.
Was he
like-
in the George Lucas picture that we commented on
No.
in episode 3?
That was just my
so
family.
you're more of a
well,
celebrity than him.
my close. Well, my anyway.
I do like who it was Martin Sheen and Tim Robbins characters in this movie, and they were told by Kim Jong-il and his guard team to guard Team America when they are captured later in the film.
Yeah,
And- they're like-
ruining the world. Actors know more about politics than actual America themselves.
I just love Tim Robbins and Martin Sheen just sitting there going, "We're guards. Yeah, we're guards."
They had to get into character.
God, this movie's so amazing. I love it so much.
It looks funny.
Matt and Trey, I know y'all hated doing this movie, and
it
you'll
didn't
never do it
make money
again.
at the box office.
But well, it's just one of those where
Shark Tale
where it's
killed
become a cult classic.
yeah,
since
we were
it's
looking that
released.
up earlier. Shark Tale beat it.
In its third weekend.
It stayed for 3 weekends.
Shark Tale?
Oh no,
okay.
this.
No, so Shark Tale was number 1 against Team America on its third weekend. Team America.
Oh, okay.
Movies lasted a lot longer in theaters back in 2004, so this played for months in small number of theaters after a while. This movie took a lot of effort. Like, the sets, the miniatures. Like, it was very extensive.
Like, I like the opening where it's a shitty background and it's a puppet. Yeah, and then it's revealed. The world reveal for this movie, it went really hard.
This movie is so impressive, like, visually, because you have all these sets and models, and you're just blowing stuff up. Like, the fucking Cairo it was in Cairo. Yes, it was in Cairo. Of them just destroying national monuments like the Sphinx and the pyramids. I got him! I gotta shoot the terrorist. Team America is so fucking stupid. So, like, they hire the actor, Chris Pine, and he goes in there with his brown face, and this movie is very biting. So he goes in there, and it's revealed that you're in the club. The infidels burn down your village so you can come with us. Team America forget that he's disguised as a terrorist. So they decide to try to gun him down, and they almost kill him immediately. We don't need that actor. Who needs actors, okay? Oh, I forget they do like a... Oh my god. Pan up. He's a try.
Why is she... I feel like they put the most energy into her
Lisa's
puppet.
character. Because she's supposed to be the hot one.
Yeah. That and Spotswood. I almost called him Spotstick.
Spotstick?
I mean, it does match as well.
Yeah.
I also...
The tables have turned. Let me make sure that...
Later in the movie, they get some bad info from the computer, and Spotswood chastises the computer, and he's like, bad intelligence. Very bad intelligence.
And then Michael Moore comes into the...
Very bad intelligence.
But then the computer just goes, I'm sorry.
We have lost all intelligence.
And then Michael
we have
Moore
no more
breaks
intelligence.
into the Mount Rushmore to blow up the entire thing. It's not the terrorist, it's Michael Moore. And he kills himself.
Take this, you fascists!
We were attacked by a giant communist weasel.
Jesus, titty fucking Christ!
And then, so there's a bunch of different.
So then you
elements.
think Spotswood is dead?
Oh no, not that wonderful character. And then after Caro, everyone hates Team America because they're kind of terrorists of their own. Alec Baldwin, because he's such a good actor, is like, Team America is I'm doing his Trump impression. Team America is a blight against everything that we stand as a community, and we, as the actor,
the Film Actors Guild,
are going to come in, and we're gonna perform at Kim Jong-un's celebration.
Yo.
Team America, you suck. And so Chris Pine is like, oh no, my hero Alec Baldwin has chastised me. I'm not a good actor after all. And so he walks out, and Team America do a mission, and they all get captured by Kim Jong-un.
Eel.
Dramatic silence.
That's what I was gonna say. Like because I feel like everyone now talks about Kim Jong-un, but this was Kim Jong-il in this one.
Well, yeah, because it was 20 years ago. Kim Jong-un's dad, yes.
Yeah. Why do they have different last names?
No, the last name over there, they say the last name first. Kim Jong is their family name. Il would be the first name. Un would be the first name.
So his name is Un Kim Jong?
If he were American, that would be the way that we would say it here, yes. But over there, they have different styles. So they
You learn something every day.
They say the last name first.
In any case, he's the mastermind behind it all. And Gary runs away, and then he becomes a drunk where everyone hates him, because that's the point of the movie where that's supposed to happen. And I think that's obviously the joke. And then he has a dramatic puking scene. I don't even know how you do that with that puppet. With dramatic music. He realizes he needs to go back to save America, but he doesn't know anything about the news. I don't even know how long it's been since all that happened, because he grew a whole beard, but I think it was like a whole day.
The way they portray North Korea, holy
it just looks
shit.
like China. Like feudalistic China.
I will say my personal favorite music number in this movie is I'm So Ronry, performed by Kim Jong-il.
I forget who plays him. Is it Matt Stone?
It's one of them.
Well, yeah, it's obviously one of them. I think it would be...
I can never tell them apart. Like, I know their voices,
I know
obviously.
one of them was in Despicable Me.
I think
3.
Kim Jong-il is played by Trey.
But anyway...
I know their voices, but I can't tell them apart.
The character arc is not complete yet, and Gary goes back, and Spotswood is... It's Spotswood, right? He's alive! But now Spotswood doesn't trust Chris Pine, so now
Stop calling him Chris Pine.
So he needs to show his loyalty by going down, and this is a long drawn out scene. What? You're not dedicated to the cause? I'm not even gay, but I'm willing to do this to show your commitment.
They don't show him going down on Spotswood. They do show his strings moving back and forth on the screen.
I didn't even notice that. It was just a long, drawn-out shot of the puppet going down, being down there for a couple seconds, like
saxophone music,
and then rising back up.
Buena.
And then they have a montage where he becomes an action hero, despite the fact that he was already kind of competent before. He breaks into North Korea. And helps free Team America by using Mission Impossible face technology.
We're guards.
And now they have to fight the actors.
Yes. The Film Actors Guild.
Was there any moments with the acting? Who was it Susan Sarandon who was locked up?
Yes,
was tied up in the chair?
She was tied up.
We got to save her. No, she's acting. Lying and acting, I guess, are the same, I guess. In this movie, like, acting is considered like a superpower.
Yeah.
And then they shoot Susan Sarandon, and it's revealed that the guy who hates actors so much hates actors because of the musical Cats.
Which has aged just so well.
Well, everyone hated Cats before. This wasn't a joke.
It's not a new thing, but
yeah, she saw the movie. She didn't even see the movie. She saw the first scene of Cats.
15 minutes, probably.
That scene lasted forever. It could have lasted 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then she runs away and pays someone $100 in an IOU to get her out of there. That's his cat story. And there's... Speaking of cats, by the way, there's a scene with actual cats. Apparently, in the production, were a fucking hell to deal with because this just kept messing with the puppets.
Which they ended up using that.
They should have predicted that.
It's a funny idea. And then a face-off at the end of the movie. Alec Baldwin has control of the audience. You can't out-act me, boy. And but Chris Pine establishes and says this awesome speech that a drunk guy told to him. You know, sometimes they're dicks.
He says he says that Team America are dicks.
Then there's actors who are pussies. And then there's Kim Jong-il,
who is an asshole.
So the dick has to fuck that asshole before we all get covered in shit. And then they all are like, cheers.
I'm sorry. We have the movie on mute playing in the background while we're talking about it, and one scene from the beginning that just popped up after they give Gary his first
You
disguise.
mean Chris Pine.
Stop calling him Chris Pine. after
It
they
looks
give
like
him
Chris Pine.
after they give him his disguise, they tell him Spotswood tells him, "Oh, you know, if they catch on to you, and they capture you, you'll probably want to kill yourself. Here, take this." And he hands him a fucking hammer.
I forgot. This movie's hilarious. It's held even better with age.
Ah,
And then they fight Kim Il,
yes.
and they kill him by throwing him onto a foreign leader's hat. They're all mind controlled by the wonders of North Korean entertainment, and it's revealed in it. So, I watched this movie on my phone, seeing that in. So they show Chris Pine's disguise.
He just has pubes glued to his face.
This is gonna be such a chaotic episode because we're just
It is.
watching the movie at this point.
We're not watching the movie. We're talking. It's almost done. Kim Jong-il is a cockroach alien coming to take over the world again in the sequel. And then
That never happened.
thank you, Shark Tale. Why you dressed like a dolphin? As Team America, we didn't go through everything, but trying to critically analyze a movie.
I'll leave some stuff to the imagination. I will recommend this movie 100% to anybody listening
Like,
if you have not seen it.
Oh my god, I forgot how stupid these guys are. We gotta drop off this terrorist.
I like the basket on the head. Cause how's she doing that?
And in any case, Team America, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Fair. How about you?
8.5.
I am going probably one of my highest ratings because this is one of the best movies that I have experienced in my life.
Oh, good.
Holds a dear place in my heart.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah. 9.5. No movie will ever have the perfect 10 out of 10 score ever, but this movie hits all the marks for me because I very much enjoy many things that Matt and Trey do. They are two of my favorite creators of all time.
Except for South Park.
So, that does segue into our selection. If you guys missed the last episode, I got fucking pissed because I wanted to recommend Parasite as my suggestion. But I got peer pressure because they were like, oh, I want to do Orgasmo, the porn movie, and I want to do Basketball. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll complete the set, but I really want to do Parasite. And they're like, do it. Just
if we had ended up with Parasite,
It would've
where
been
would
great.
we be?
better off because you guys have never seen Parasite.
And
No.
but then
Too
this
depressing.
entire episode would have been sad.
No, that movie's fun. So, I recommended Team America to peer pressure and complete the set, and it got picked. So we're gonna be back to elimination style for the movies. We got 4 options. We got Justin's recommendation, which is
Orgasmo.
And then mine
Donnie
is.
Young.
Donnie Don.
Did you say Donnie Young?
No.
Donnie. We need to watch that fucking clip now. Oh my god.
We gotta
All right,
finish the episode.
so Orgasmo is my recommendation again.
Can't wait
And
to-
my recommendation is basketball.
Again.
As revenge,
we're riding the Matt and Trey train.
I'm recommending Dragon Ball Evolution. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Oh, good.
But don't worry, for quality's sake, we also got Grave of the Fireflies in here if we want more depression. If that gets
I'm not
picked.
ready for more depression.
This is
This is elimination.
This is elimination? Okay.
Yeah, the TV show, because there's going to be so many TV shows in there. If we did elimination, we'd be here for 2 hours. Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got to establish some rules here. So, the first movie to be eliminated from the wheel is Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, man.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Prepare to eat dirt. Okay, I'm getting scared. Okay, say goodbye to basketball.
Damn it! Come
Whoa.
on.
Oh, no.
So we're still.
Now it's
50-50.
between...
Oh, wait. Oh, between Orgasmo and
Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh.
Miyazaki.
No, that's not Miyazaki.
No?
I think that's
Oh.
Takahata,
Oh.
a new director from Ghibli.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Oh, please, 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 please.
And we are
please.
watching Orgasmo.
Oh, thank
Yes!
God. We're just torturing Max.
I have to buy porn now.
I am victorious!
See if the library has it.
It's
Oh, you can look up your library's movies online.
yeah.
Damn.
It's NC-17, guys.
So?
And
We're all over 21, Max.
so it's not going to be at the
buying-
library.
I'm either renting or buying porn. Most NC-17 movies are porn. I thought you were gonna say something like that, but no, you have no defense.
It's a funny film.
Maybe we should watch Blue is the Warmest Color next.
It's a funny film.
It's fun.
What if I recommended...
What? Finish your thought.
I was gonna name an actual porn movie. Debbie Does Dallas.
Oh, boy. Lemon stealing whore.
Showgirls, a classic.
Oh, God.
Christ almighty.
I can't believe you've done this.
Can I watch the trailer?
Well, we can do that, I guess. I can turn this off. Anyway, yeah, that's the episode. We're gonna watch
Yeah.
Orgasmo.
Alright, bye.
We're gonna watch Orgasmo for our movie, and we're gonna watch
The first
Fargo
episode.
season 2, episode 1.
And also, we're gonna see how If does at the box office. Maybe Madison is cooking.
If it does good.
I didn't pick Orgasmo. That was Justin's. I picked basketball.
No.
Cooking with what?
Apparently with
talking
methane,
about-
because you missed everything.
Talking about
Your box
The
office
box
predictions
office
about
predictions.
If.
Oh, yeah.
It comes out this weekend.
I didn't know you were talking about
Dummy.
Alright.
Okay, that's the end of the podcast.
2-hour episode.
It's
Not
not
quite.
2 hours.
Yeah, it's just shy
It's
of it.
gonna be.
Time to watch some Smiling Friends.
We'll
Love
fix-
you. Goodbye.
Fix it and pre.
Love
Goodbye.
you.